Okay, in order to teach you mudras, I had to move the camera farther away from me. So let's talk about mudras. What are mudras? Well, mudras are considered to be symbolic gestures. Mudras are considered to be, we communicate with ourselves, with other people, and the universe in lots of different ways. We communicate through our body language, through our facial expressions. We communicate how we're feeling and our intentions from the words that we use, are the symbols that we draw. And mudras, different hand seals or sacred gestures, is another way of us expressing ourselves. So you want to think about using a mudra as a way of expressing your spirituality. It's something that's very tangible. And I really, really love mantras, and I really love mudras, because for me, as someone who has a really difficult time concentrating and staying on point, actually focusing my awareness on my hands, or the energy that's going on in my hands, helps me to focus when I'm meditating. So I wanted to teach you several different mudras today. The first one that we're going to talk about is called the Shiva Linga mudra. Shiva Linga. So what you do is you take the left hand and you kind of cup your hand like this, and then you take your fist, put your thumb up, and you put your right hand into the palm of the left hand, and then you just allow the hands to rest right in front of the navel. Okay, this is the Shiva Linga mudra, and this is this particular mudra talks about commitment, being committed. This is kind of like a sign or a show to the universe and to yourself, more importantly to yourself, that you are committed to following through in your practice, okay? So we'll talk more about the Shiva Lingam later in teacher training, but this is the hand symbol for the Shiva Lingam, and this is the position that you would take if you're going to focus on this particular mudra with the word in mind, which is commitment, dedication, devotion, being steadfast, seeing things through to its finality. That is the Shiva Linga mudra. The Gupta mudra is where you're going to interlace your fingers like so, and you're going to pull your fingers together into a fist like so, and then you're going to wrap the thumbs right on top, like so. So this particular mudra symbolizes assimilation. It represents the integration, the assimilation of all of the things around you, your consciousness, your body, your mental and emotional state, the mind, body, spirit, and in harmony with the Dharma, the teachings, the instruction. And this is also another mudra that you want to sit up nice and tall, relax, close your eyes, breathe gently, and hold on to this mudra of assimilation. Now, one thing I want to say about meditating. Meditating is always better to do on the ground, on the floor, sitting on the floor. And I know that's a problem for some people, but you can always put 1 or 2 pillows underneath your rear end in order to sit down on the floor. You can even put little blocks underneath your knees so that the knees can rest on the blocks if you have a difficult time relaxing, okay, or if the hips are not open. I also recommend not only sitting on the floor, but sitting with your back up against the wall. Sitting, that gives you a lot of support, is what I want you to know, that it's possible for you just to sit down, cross your legs, either sitting on a blanket or a pillow or none. Put your back up against the wall, put your hands down on your thighs, and when we put our hands down on our thighs and we bring our fingers and our thumbs together and we put the hands on the knees, what we're doing is we're sealing off the energy channels in the body. We're sealing off our energy with this particular hand position. So it's sealing off the energy body. But so you can use a wall if you need to use a wall in order to give you more support. Because we're not used to meditating, because we're not used to sitting for prolonged periods of time and sitting up straight. Sitting up straight for a prolonged period of time can be uncomfortable for people. But like everything else, it's something you have to do. It's something you have to train yourself to do. It's something you have to make yourself do. You have to force yourself to sit there, sit up tall, relax the shoulders and the abdomen so that the breath comes in and out of the body easy, relaxed. And you feel the tailbone and the sits bones and the butt anchored to the ground, and you feel the tree of life, the spine, as it grows. As the tree of life, the spine grows out of the pelvis and up through a long neck and through the crown of the head. That's not easy. None of this stuff is easy. But after a while, if you practice it and you practice it on a regular basis, then it is going to become more easy the more you practice it. The next mudra that I want to show you is called the Matsya mudra. And this is the fish mudra. And this particular mudra is like, it's about fluidity. It's about being fluid. So what you do is you take your hands and you bring the fingers together and the thumbs up, and you place the left hand down and you put the right hand on top of it, just like this. Okay? And this particular mudra represents fluidity. It's like a fish. Just like a fish that's swimming through the ocean or through the lake or through a pond, how it's moving, and it's when you watch fish swim, how they just glide through the water so easy. And that's the exact same feeling that you want to have in your consciousness, in your mind, when you are performing this particular mudra. You just want to feel easy, like life is easy, like you're flowing through energy. And so you just put one hand on top of the other, relax, close your eyes, and feel the flow. The next one is called Jhana Mudra, and it's something that everybody knows. Taking the index finger and the thumb and putting them together, placing the hands on the thighs or on the knees, flipping the palms up with the thumb and the index fingers touching. That's called Jhana Mudra. And that particular mudra specifically is about accepting wisdom and attaining higher knowledge, higher stages of consciousness. It's very receptive. It's a receptive pose. It's asking for the wisdom to come to you in order for it to be absorbed into your mind, into your body, into your spirit, into the deepest levels of your consciousness, that you embrace and accept the wisdom teachings that help us grow and become better people. There is the Garuda Mudra, which is basically like this. So what we do is we take the thumbs and we interlace them, and we spread the fingers, and we hold the hands right in front of the heart, right in front of the chest. We close our eyes and our breathe. Garuda being one of the deities in yoga, which is a divine being with wings, an eagle. And that particular spirit, this is the mudra that is in the spirit of that particular deity. And so as you can see, it's kind of like a bird, okay? And this particular mudra has to do with freedom and power, freedom and liberation from suffering, and also power, feeling the power of when I hold this mudra, I feel the full strength and power from my energy body just being activated. It's almost like feeling like a warrior. It's almost like stepping into battle when you're holding this particular mudra. And it's very empowering, it's very relaxing. And anytime you need to take a break, you just take a break, put your hands down, breathe, relax. And if you feel some kind of way about a particular mudra, either good or bad or neutral. Journal about it, because this is all about journaling. If you take this program and you follow through to the end, you're going to realize that there's a lot of journaling that's done, a lot of self-reflection, because this journey to becoming an instructor or just taking this class to become a better yoga practitioner is for you. It's all about you. It's always about you, okay? At the end of the day, you are the only person that matters, and that has nothing to do with ego, okay? It means that you are the only person that gets to experience your spiritual experiences. Nobody else. Nobody else gets to experience this practice except for you. You're the one that experiences the practice. So at the end of the day, it's very important for you to pay attention to how these practices make you feel. And if they make you feel some kind of way, asking yourself, why? Why do I feel that way? What makes me feel good? What makes me feel not so good? Or why am I not feeling anything? This is called self-reflection and gaining self-knowledge. The next mudra is the Yoni mudra. So really the Shiva Lingam, or the Shiva Linga mudra, that particular image really has to do with a very phallic image. This is a phallic symbol of the Shiva Linga, the phallus, in the Yoni, where the next mudra, the Yoni mudra, is all about the feminine and the sacred feminine, okay? And the way we do that is we interlace the fingers like we were going to do in the Gupta mudra. But what we're going to do is we're going to interlace the fingers and bring the thumb and the index finger together to create what would be the shape of a vagina, the yoni, the sacred feminine, the sacred female energies, the womb, okay? And you can actually, I like to, gaze upon the mudra and think about the divine feminine. And then I relax and I just allow the mudra to rest down about an inch underneath my navel, because this is your power center. This is where your body stores its reservoir of chi, of prana, of ashe. It's in the sacral area, about 2 inches below the navel and in the middle of the body. It's kind of like a ball of energy that's there. Of course, if you cut the body open, you're not going to see a ball of light on the inside of your body, but on an energetic level, that's where that lives. And so when I do the Yoni mudra, I just kind of sit and I relax and I hold the Yoni mudra right in front of that sacral plexus, or what we'd call the Svadhisthana chakra. Take some nice deep breaths. And what you're going to find if you do these mudras with me, or you write them down, or you come back later and watch this video again, pick up a mudra and try to do it, you're going to realize that there's a very, very subtle energy that comes along with performing every mudra. It brings on an entire experience, an entire feeling. There's a whole mood, okay? There's a whole mood that I'm feeling when I'm holding a Yoni mudra, opposed to holding the Garuda mudra or the Gupta mudra. Every single mudra has its own feel and it brings its own energy, and that's why we use them, because they affect us on an energetic level differently, all of them. My favorite mudra is the Apana mudra, which is where you take the thumb, the middle finger, and the ring finger, and you bring them together, okay? And then you extend the index finger and the pinky. So I really enjoy doing this mudra because this mudra specifically works on the root chakra. And it's an earth mudra, and it's about stability. It brings stability. This is a very stabilizing mudra. A very stabilizing mudra to do. Sometimes I will hold the mudra like this. Sometimes I'll hold it out like this, in honor of the horned one, in honor of Shiva in his form as Lord of the Animals, which is Pashupati. Pashupati is Shiva's avatar as Lord of the animals, the horned god, okay? So I know that you've seen people go like this, which is kind of like, that's a very particular sign, symbol, which is not necessarily good or bad. I know that some people think that's like devil worship and stuff like that. But the symbol, the Apana Mudra, is a very specific symbol. It's a very specific symbol that represents a very specific thing, okay? And it's not that, okay? It's this, okay? It's peace, it's stability, stability, and it's harmony with nature. And finally, there's the Ishvara Mudra, which talks about inner sense and inner development. What happens is we interlace the index, we interlace the middle finger and the ring finger, and we keep the pinky and the index finger pointing up. And we allow the thumbs to point out, down like that. And so we hold the Ishvara Mudra like so, like that. When I hold the Ishvara Mudra, I like to put it down again in front of my solar plexus and my sacral plexus, in between those two chakras, and I just hold it like this, and I breathe, and I focus on calm, and I focus on having a very strong inner sense, inner awareness, having a strong inner awareness of who I am. So those are our mudras: the Shiva Lingam, the Garuda Mudra, the Gupta Mudra, the Yoni Mudra, the Ishvara Mudra, the Apana Mudra, the Jhana Mudra, and the Matsya Mudra. So those are the ones that I taught you today, and I encourage you to play with those and try them. Try them out. See how they make you feel. And I could talk about this stuff all day long, but unless you actually do the work, none of this matters. So that's another thing you have to understand about going through this teacher training program, is that watching the videos and reading the material is very, very different than engaging the material and actually physically doing the material. This is a physical practice. Whether you're sitting down on the ground and meditating, or you're doing some lazy monkey stretches, or if you're just practicing your mudras. Okay, it's a very physical practice. It's something that you have to do. It's something that you have to do in order to get the benefit out of, okay? Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. Namaste.